Hey, welcome back to my channel and happy holidays. I know we tend to start on the 12th of December and keep going until like the 15th of January. So knock yourself out. You deserve it anyway. I'm Caroline Mutoko and my conversation continues to be you, nutrition, your family, and food. Food is good, but not all food is good, okay? So I want to give you once again a moment to get yourself in that position. You're like, I gotta hear this. Because over the last 2 sessions, I've spoken to 2 nutritionists, Kate Kibara, who's back with me today, and I can hear the ululation, and Harriet, who I know left you thinking, what have I been doing? And I want to progress the conversation based actually on a lot of your feedback. So this is actually your session. I will be delving into a lot of things you raised on food, on calcium, on supplements, on what do I need to know about this, that, the other. But I also want to make sure that I don't leave you in a place where you're asking even more questions. Because if you are, it means actually I haven't done my job. Of course, I have to take a moment to once again say a big thank you to Tetra Pak for saying, yes, let's walk this journey of nutrition together. And to Kate who, Madam.
Thank you.
No, did you enjoy the feedback?
I really did. I read all the comments.
So
it was amazing. Oh, you need to do this. We need more information. The time was short. We need to do a lot of this. You know, a lot of us do not know. We want to live healthy,
yes.
But we do not have. We do not know the tips.
How.
Yeah.
Yes.
We only know what we studied in school. Take your proteins, carbohydrates, and all that. You know, wellness is different from nutrition. So you need to keep well. You need to adopt wellness for you to keep healthy in this changing environment. That's why you do not get a degenerative disease. And that's what is happening to us. You know everything, but you're combining it wrong, or you're doing the wrong thing, you're exercising the wrong time, you're drinking water the wrong time.
We're going to talk about that as well.
Exactly. So it's a form of getting information that takes your health to the next level. In fact, you get the body and health that you truly deserve.
Okay, you see, she has started. However, I'll tell you what it is I really, really wanted to get into. Have you noticed I'm organized to, I've done Watu Alisema, so I can come back to that. A lot of comments on milk and milk products. And when I say milk products, I'm talking about cheese, yogurt, the smoothies we have.
Ice cream.
Toppings on our pizza. We always like extra cheese, extra cheese.
Exactly.
And for some reason, our mind seems to only go to milk. But the minute we're like cheese, we're like, yes, please, 2 times, you know, I'll have cheese to go with that. And I guess, you know, for me, with my little bit of research, and this is where you correct me as a nutritionist, I found out that 90% of the people in East Africa consume loose milk. That term still shocks me. And the fact is, there's a lot of myths that surround the production and consumption of dairy, which of course now allows me to ask you, what is this madness we have with loose milk? You couldn't get me to take milk that has not been processed. I'm sorry. But that's me. I guess it's in my mind. Where are we coming from?
I think because if you look at loose milk, it's something that is used worldwide. It's the most easily available milk that you can get. Cow's milk, if you're in the village, you have your cow, that's the milk you get. There are centers that sell loose milk, but we need to know that generally milk is very nutritious, of course. It's good for adults, it's good for children. It's a complete food.
Okay.
It has vitamins, minerals, it has vitamin D, which is excellent for you. It has things like calcium, magnesium, it has other nutrients, it has carbohydrates. It's a complete food, and that's why it's given to children.
It's a complete food.
Exactly,
yes.
But we need to be careful about raw milk, because if you take it raw, even if you boil it, boiling denatures some of the proteins and it reduces the nutritional value. So you've boiled it, of course now you think that it is safe, and you know raw milk is not homogenized. This means that the cream has not been separated from the milk. So you have this high exposure of the bacteria that grows in the milk, whether you have E. coli, you have salmonella, you have listeria. So these are dangers that you face if you're taking the raw milk. So it is better that instead of taking raw and loose milk, if you can get it processed. But I know there are people who are used to it, but milk is essentially healthy if it is taken on a daily basis to keep your health, to build your health, to make you build your bones, to reduce to help you maintain a healthy weight. It helps manage things like osteoporosis, hypertension.
Yes.
It's really nutritious if it is taken in a healthy way.
Clean, safe milk.
Exactly, and if you take the right quality and quantity that you need.
Got you. So the other thing, I guess, and I was very interested in almost walking the chronology of, because remember, it's the right quantities you need for where you are. Okay.
Exactly.
So here's the thing. I want to walk through the chronology. Milk in young children, because I want to walk all the way to me and then to my mother. Milk in young children, what sort of quantities are we looking at?
You see, milk in young children, after, we're supposed to breastfeed for 6 months.
Yes.
Who does that?
Some people try.
You should. Breastfeeding exclusively for 6 months is the best time. It's the only time to build your baby's immunity, to make your baby healthy. It's a building block at that time. But because most parents cannot do that, within 3 months you've gone back to work. The other nutritious, complete food that you can give this baby at this time is only milk.
Okay.
Because even if you gave them orange juice, think of giving them
can't digest it.
pineapple, something. The other most nutritious food that a child can take
is milk.
And that's why they're always told to take milk, whether it's formula milk, whether it's the real milk. But milk is because it's complete, like I said. So a child should take, if you're weaning, if it's 6 months onwards, because I would talk about 6 months onwards, not before. However much the child needs this milk. As you get older, as you're an adolescent, your body needs depends on how you're growing. So an adolescent may need 3 glasses of milk or 4 a day. Myself may need a glass every day, depending on how your body takes the milk. Again, as you get older, you become lactose intolerant. Either you're born with it or it develops with age.
It developed.
And the best thing is that if you're lactose intolerant, we have a lot of lactose-free milk right now. So you can enjoy your milk as you're getting your daily complete food as you're eating every day. So the requirements the requirements per day depends on the age and depends on the quantity. So a child may take as much as they want, and then as you grow older, you reduce the quantity because you also need other nutrients to supplement.
True.
You do not want monotony. You do not want to be taking milk every day. You also want to supplement with maybe other herbal teas. You want to drink water. You just want to take fruits. So it's a matter of complementing what you're taking with milk. But you already know that milk is complete. Okay.
So I know a lot of us, by the time, baby is 3 years old and running around and 4, we're like, aweze kunywa maziwa, yesi mtoto. But I'm made to understand that actually there's a whole other growth phase, and heaven knows I've seen it with my daughter who's now 10. So once again, she also needs milk. It's not a case of, she's not a baby anymore.
Something we do not understand, that between 0 to 5, that's when you build your baby's immunity, the way they'll become as an adult, whether they'll have stunt growth, whether they'll be energetic children, whether they'll be intelligent. It is done in those 5 years.
Okay.
And within those 5 years, they need to only feed nutrient-dense foods. So you're not playing around that you're not giving the child milk. If the child reacts to milk, because there could be allergies that are formed because of the milk, of they're intolerant, then you substitute with something else. So you talk to your physician and see what you can do. But at this point, because we do not have any other substitute for milk, you could take, we have animal-based milk, but because it does not have complete amino acids, animal products have complete 22 amino acids. So you're even getting your vitamin B12. So if I'm taking soy milk or if I'm taking almond milk, it does not have my vitamin B12, which is essentially an amino acid that I need. So that's why that's what makes milk more superior. And apart from that, milk is the only nutrients that has a balance of calcium, vitamin D, magnesium, and potassium, and this helps your bones. That's why you say strong bones. You've seen advertisements, drink milk and you have strong bones. So if you're lacking in that and you're trying to build your child in those 5 years, it means as they grow, our bones become porous, like the way a termite eats on timber.
Yes, and when you have a small fall,
it brings you a problem. So you need all this, and the vitamin D is the carrier for calcium, and then you have your magnesium. Vitamin D helps the assimilation of calcium, and then the magnesium in milk is the carrier to one calcium leads to magnesium, and that is complete in the milk. So it helps you bring your child to grow in a complete nutrient dish. And this is because, again, look at if the child was not taking milk, or if I was not taking milk. We take the other options of the vitamins and minerals comes from our vegetables and fruits.
Yes.
A lot of us do not take salads. We do not take we don't do that.
Yes.
So it means you're lacking that. So
we don't do our greens.
Exactly.
So you might as well have a glass of milk.
So this is a simple way of reintroducing the nutrients in your system until you can be awake and say, okay, I need to take my fruits 6 servings every morning, and then I need to take my salads every day so that you can get that complete meal. And even if you're doing it in the food, we overcook. Akisukuma wiki, you pick for 10 minutes until they're brown.
And I hear we're supposed to just saute, blanch it, just a little.
2 minutes, 3 minutes maximum. That's how you get the benefit of the nutrients from the food.
Yes.
But you overcook and did not take enough. So milk, I think, is a supplement. As much as not a tablet, it is something that adds these nutrients that we've lacked
I was
time.
thinking, and this is for my sisters in their 20s. It's one thing how your diet looks when you're at home, because your mother is there, pangaing everything. Then you move out of home and all of a sudden, freedom, I will not do this, I will not do this, I had to be forced to do this. And I remember when I first moved out of home, I moved out of home pretty late in life. But I remember my mother used to look at me and says, matunda? I mean, literally, she had to ask me in Kamba, is there any fruit in your life? And you're looking, but when you move out of home, you look at your budget and you're like, no, fruits are expensive, vegetables are expensive. And you start living actually, and you've got your 2-minute noodles, you got this, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I remember it was my mom who looked at my skin and told me, you. And I used to actually go and shop in her pantry. That you go to visit mother and then you take what is left. And then I went back to milk. Because if you don't have time to cook, if you don't, and this is the thing about moving out of home, living by yourself for a while, I mean, and this is, like I said to my sisters, because the difference between us and young men is young men would rather go to a kibanda
and eat
madondo there, but we girls don't. No. And in no time it shows. It shows because we're sickly, we're not doing well, and for me, I distinctly remember that. So, a message from Kate to my under 30 sisters, because by the time you get to 30, you realize, I'm joking with my life here. Yes, to my under 30 sisters. Have a glass.
I like what you've said. Do you know your skin acts as your third kidney? Your kidneys they are your complex filters that filter everything out of your system. If you're taking toxins, chemicals, all these things that your body does not need. It's a network of capillaries that I think it's at 32,000 square feet.
I've heard, this is our biggest organ.
Exactly.
Our
so
skin.
Your kidneys are so important. So when they malfunction a little bit because I'm eating so unhealthy, I'm taking all these foods that are not okay, it shows on your skin. So your skin is the first defense mechanism. And also, it's the one that shows that you're not keeping healthy. If you have a pimple popping up, just know there's something you're doing wrong. If your skin is not fresh, it shows that your health from the inside is not what should be done. So I like what your mother was asking about fruits.
Yeah.
When we are alone, we do not eat healthy. And we're not saying milk is the only food that you can take.
It's how we eat.
It's a supplementation. You're taking milk, you're taking your fruits and veggies, you're taking your proteins from other sources, but you're trying also to balance by providing a whole milk, a whole food from what you're eating. So it's a matter of reducing monotony and balancing everything. And if you have those allergies, like we're talking about lactose intolerant and all those things, then switch to lactose-free milk. If you were trying to lose weight, go to the low-fat milk. We have all these options.
Yes.
But it's something that can be used in so many ways. You can use in your cereals in the morning.
There is low-fat milk in the market, by the way. Don't start telling me, but I'm trying to lose weight. And I just want to move, from my sisters under 30 to my sisters over 30 into fabulous 40 and beyond. And once again, the reason I'm once again calling out my sisters is that very rarely will you find a man fighting you over a glass of milk. In fact, my best example is Jamaa Mjengo. In fact, they tell you wanakunywanga maziwa because it clears the dust. It helps them, and I don't know whether it's a myth or not, but consistently when I have people even working on any site that I have, if I bring milk, they're like, sawa, kwanza tulete paketi tatu. But somehow you don't find watu wa nguvu, guys who do kazi mzito, fighting you over milk. But their counterparts, female, in the same age bracket, Miss Kunyangi Maziwa.
I think because you have this myth that milk should not be consumed, milk should not be taken. It has a lot of disadvantages, but these are myths that
and they are
I think
myths.
Because we talk about, look at not even what you're talking about mujengo. If you take poison right now, what will I give you first before you die?
Oh my goodness, you will give me milk.
I'll give you just milk. And I'll save your life. So it shows that it's such a nutrient-dense food that actually helps you. But what's mujengo, maybe they may not take milk because they're used to taking, whatever they eat is so heavy. The beans, maybe they take with ugali or madondo or whatever they take. It's a heavy dish. So they do not want to take milk at that time.
Yes.
But for ladies who do not take milk, and I've seen this a lot of us says, no, milk is this, milk is that. It's just like the way we do our juicing these days. Some say, okay, you should not juicing. Others says you should take your juices. It's just something that we have not really internalized and understood.
Why?
That if you take the right milk, if you take the right quality, then it helps you build your cells, it helps you build your system, and it makes you healthy.
Yes.
So it's just misinformation.
And myths.
Yeah.
Yes, and we are the center of myths, and then we propagate them through WhatsApp. Kweli.
And decide I'm not taking that because it makes me like this.
So I once again, because I don't want there to be a confusion between, okay, she said we should have milk. I'm going straight to the guy who sells raw milk. Once again, your reasons for making sure it is clean and safe is because we could undo all the goodness.
But you see, raw milk or loose milk is not as safe as milk that is packaged, and I'm going to describe that. Raw milk has not been boiled.
Nope.
It has not gone through any processes for it to reduce the bacterial levels, for it to reduce salmonella, E. coli, listeria, all these things. It's not even homogenized where they separate the cream. So this raw milk exposes you to a lot of bacteria and a lot of germs and a lot of other things that will affect your health. And people say, boil it. Boiling is okay, but what are you doing to the quality of the milk? You reduce the nutritional value of this milk.
Okay.
By boiling it. So you're boiling it, yes, you're taking the milk, you're taking it every day, maybe you've killed all those germs, maybe not 100%, but you're reducing the quality. You need to take it as a whole food, like I keep saying. So the best milk is to take the long life milk.
Which I was not going to come to, because obviously, and I remember having this conversation with Harriet, the other nutritionist, and obviously we're those people of, long life Missy Jui, Mbona it doesn't go bad, because those apparently is our litmus test for anything.
I know.
You who has had the same mascara for a year, come here, nakujua, and you've got an issue with long life milk. You who hasn't changed your compact for 6 months is the same one nafanyanga hivi, and you've got an issue with long life milk. But from what I understand, and you're going to have to correct me, the way long life milk is created is that, and yes, they're going to say, but it's also treated by heat. But apparently, it's a science that is exact, because the heat goes beyond anything our cooker could do. How does that work?
In fact, what they say, it's the best discovery in the 21st century.
Really?
Because long life milk is treated in a system called UHT, or ultra high temperature treatment. So it means there's a closed system where this milk is put, and there's a heating process at a certain range. When it is in this closed system, there's no contamination, there's no bacteria going through, there's nothing that is happening to this milk. So they're treating it in a high temperature to kill all this. Could be the bacteria,
yes, the bacteria, the antibiotics, whatever it is the cow was consuming.
Exactly. And I think it's 135 degrees to 140.
I heard it's somewhere between 135 to 140.
Exactly.
But I hear it's not for long.
So while this is happening, the milk is then sent through a heating and cooling process at a succession period, and then it's packaged in a sterile packaging, the Tetra Pak, the
yes,
that has 6 layers. So this ensures that there is no contamination.
Nothing goes in.
There is no air that is going in. There's nothing that has come into this milk, and because it's airtight, it means there's no preservative. It's still that whole milk that you're taking, but it is treated in a better way. So you can take it the way it is in the glass. You don't need to boil it to kill all those things, because it's already been done for you.
Okay, so now let's gossip. There's a really nice video of size 8, and she's no, it's gone viral. She's actually preparing milk for her husband.
Umenotice maziwa yote nilibai maziwa variety na zimeandikwa nini zote? Long life. Zote maziwa zote zimeandikwa long life. Long life si lazima uboil.
What do you mean?
It's not a massive maziwa yote imeandikwa long life si lazima uboil.
Beba kuna venye naweza chukua maziwa nitoe kwa packet hivi maziwa kama hii ni kuserve kama ijaboil lazima ni boil.
Okay.
She boiled long life milk. Milk that has already gone through ultra high temperature. She has not put it in her sufuria. And size 8, I love you, you know I do, but mom.
No, I don't blame her. A lot of us do not know the difference between the
regular,
milk
yes,
and
regular packaged milk and long life milk.
Yes, so we boil every milk that comes. You boil it overnight. If you don't have a
at least
fridge, you boil it and keep it there.
She's a caring woman.
Exactly, and especially for those even who do not have fridges. I'm talking about all of us. You boil it overnight so that you can feed your children in the morning and all that, so that it does not go bad. But they should know that you should not. I don't blame her, because a lot of us do not know that we should not boil.
Okay, so milk. And by the way, now what work?
She did not even know.
And she didn't even know. I was like, because I understand if it's regular packed milk, you know, the one you buy in a packet or in and that works, because a lot of people do that, you know, and they boil it and they make sure it stays longer.
Exactly.
But I was like, but I saw you open the packet, madam. That was long life milk. Long life milk doesn't need to be boiled for it to be safe. It's already safe.
You can take it the way it is.
And there's nothing wrong with what she did. It's just that you can take it the way it is. Because I guess she was going to boil it and then cool it and then give it to DJ.
That's what we do.
Yes.
That's what we do.
Yes.
Because
I tilted my head. I was like, what is she doing?
So from that point, we need to understand that the ultra high temperature treatment of this milk makes you take it the way it is.
Straight out of the pack.
Do not boil it.
Do not boil it.
You can only warm it if you want to warm it.
If you want warm milk.
It is safe. Okay. It is nutritious. It has everything inside. Just take it the way it is.
Fantastic. So now I need you to look at some of the things that came up before our time runs out. Milk constipates me, but I found that if I dilute it with a little water, it doesn't affect me. I also limit it to 1 glass of milk with my cereal in the morning. Is that...
You know, I was thinking about that. Constipation is because of lactose intolerance, which we've already said. And if you look at milk in tea, it's already diluted. So a lot of people who take tea do not get that bloatedness, that funny feeling. So this person discovered that if I dilute it kidogo,
that person probably should be taking the low-fat milk.
Exactly, the low-fat, the lactose intolerant, and a glass every day, maybe half a glass with the cereal is still fine.
It's still fine.
It's still okay.
Oh, good. Somebody else said, I'd really love to know what I should start with when weaning my 1-year-old, which we did talk about earlier.
Yes, you did.
I sought the services of a nutritionist, but clearly I need to get the right combination.
You see what, introducing foods to a child is very critical, because now you're studying this baby, they have colic, the 6 months, they have had all these things. So the best foods that we're told to bring things like pawpaw, you know, mashed pawpaw. Pawpaw has bromelain that helps with digestion. It's also high in vitamin C that helps. So if you mash it, you can do a bit of peas, because you do not want to introduce this child to heavy animal protein, because the digestive system is still forming. So you can start with plant-based proteins like peas that you can smash, and the peas, maybe you can do the pawpaw separately. You do peas with spinach, because they need iron, they need that folic acid for growth. You can also do orange juice. So it's playing around with the vegetable source of protein, but whole food, with also the vitamins and minerals, and with time, reintroducing the animal protein slowly, because if you give a 1-year-old that nyama that they cannot even chew, so it makes it difficult. But small things like this that you play around, even avocado with banana as the fruit, a little bit of water, it actually helps in weaning the child until they get to a level where they're eating well. The tips here: do not introduce any fatty foods, do not introduce any foods that are high in sugar. Give them even without salt. If you are boiling that spinach without salt, that's what gives them. You can put a little bit of olive oil to give them the omega-3 and the omega-6, the fatty acids that they need. And then with time, Wakishakuwa kubwa, that's when you can introduce the other things. But it's feeding with natural foods.
Yes.
And it actually works.
And it works.
The legumes, basic fruits and veggies. The legumes have proteins, a little bit of oil, nuts, a little bit of milk, and the child will be fine.
And the child will be fine. I think one of the things, and I want to talk, obviously we're going to be asked about nyama. Kenyans and nyama. And I would like to finish with that. But what I'm interested in is describing what lactose intolerance looks like and feels like. Because it takes you a long time to realize what it is. Okay, now for me, I know that if I, for whatever reason, can't find my lactose-free milk, and I have regular, you literally see me do this. Because I have 2 hours from that moment, before me and gas are friends, and I'm highly flammable as well, and I can't be around you. Cannot be entering and leaving elevators. Let's just put it this way. And that's me. But I hear there are people within like 10 to 15 minutes of having milky tea straight to the toilet. Straight. Their bowel, it's just, so what does lactose intolerance look like? A lot of adults don't know, and they can't connect it.
Lactose intolerance is when you have this feeling after taking milk or milk products.
Milk product, yes.
You have bloatedness, so you have that kapot, you have gas, you have indigestion, you feel like farting, you just feel like you're uncomfortable, you feel like the meal was so heavy, yet you took just a glass of milk. And lactose intolerant is because it's a natural process.
It's natural.
As we get older, we do not have our enzyme lactase that digest the lactose in milk, and lactose in milk is the sugar in that milk. It just depletes.
Yes.
You could be born like that. You could develop it as an adult.
I developed it.
Exactly. So when you take any milk product, you just feel that sickly feeling, like you're bloated. There's something wrong with your digestive system.
Until you kind of pass it through your system.
Exactly.
Yes.
So it gives you problems, and you may not know. So those are the symptoms. But it could be caused by other things. But milk, if it is directly because you took a milk product, it's because of that. But the best thing is, if you're feeling that at that time, drink lots of water. It may help in reducing that. And also try to look for lactose-free milk. And if it persists, then visit your doctor. Maybe they can prescribe something that you can take to help with your digestive system. It's also advisable to take things that are high in the healthy bacteria. So you can take like yogurt that actually helps in increasing, it has the healthy bacteria. So the natural yogurt will actually help in increasing.
And as a woman, I just need to say this, bacteria, yeast infections, very important. Have your yogurt.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Have your yogurt.
The candida bacteria cannot thrive in a high bacteria environment. So that actually helps in reducing it. And because candida thrives in an acidic environment, the yogurt also, the bacteria helps in reducing that from your system. So that recurrence does not occur.
Yes, and a lot of young women don't know that. So they suffer with yeast infections forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Yes. So yogurt. Remember, we're not just saying milk, we're saying dairy products, okay?
With acidophilus.
Yes.
It helps your digestion.
She used a big word. I can't repeat it, so you just rewind and go back to acidophilus. I'm not going to pretend. That's why you're here. You're the expert. Meat. They talk about it non-stop. I'm like, okay, Kate, what is it with us and meat? I love meat like the next person. Let me just talk about myself, because I think it's unfair sometimes when we talk about it, and then I don't even use myself or yourself. I know you don't do animal protein.
No, I don't do.
I'm fish, I'm chicken, but and I love meat like anybody else. But I know more than once a week, and I'm a zombie until I pass it out of my system.
You know, animal protein, like I'd mentioned earlier, you need, for proteins, we learned this in school, you need 22 complete amino acids. The only source you get that from is your animal protein. Okay. We have tried to get this from soya. It may give you all the amino acids, but not everything 100%. Okay. We've tried moringa. So meat is okay. The only thing we do as Africans, Kenyans, we take excess meat.
Yes.
And that's where the problem is.
We are a barbecue
You
nation.
go there, like today is Saturday. So you go sit there with your kilo of nyama. And what are you taking?
We sit, we order ahead.
I tell you.
Mugu moja fry, moja dry fry, kengine boil, ingine choma.
And you know what your body needs? According to even not the World Health Organization, this is also known as a nutritionist, you need between 45 to 80 grams of meat a day.
Have you seen us when it says 250, the steak, that's the one we want.
So that
when fat at the edge.
So that steak should last you 1 week.
Okay.
So we cannot.
So this is where everybody comments na kitchen funny.
No, I'm serious. So we are talking about the average of 45 to 80 grams. So 50 grams of day, that's the meat you take, Caroline. So if you bought a quarter meat, you take it to your fridge, you cut a 50. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. So Saturday and Sunday, you get your vegetable source of protein. That's how you balance your meat intake. But we do not do that. I swear that quarter won't even last, even on your plate.
No, but when we go to the restaurant,
that's
the
why meat
menu
is
comes, we're eyeing the tomahawk. We're like, haka.
That's the problem.
Okay, nobody should ever eat a tomahawk alone. Let's agree. No matter what Kate says, you cannot order a tomahawk alone.
Exactly, because your body needs only those 50 grams of meat at that time. Anything you take is excess. So it's stored either as fat. Meat has no fiber, so it stays in your gut for 72 hours. It's high in cholesterol. So it gives you problems. Yeah, because you're taking excess.
No fiber, and we never order sukuma.
Yeah, you're taking with the kibit kachumbari hapo.
How do we do it? No. Let's talk about it again. Mkono moja weka fry, gina boil, gina choma. Ugali moja, mukimo moja na kachumbari.
Period. And you know the problem with that? For your calcium, just like we were talking about milk, for that calcium in that meat to be digested, you need magnesium. And your magnesium comes from your vegetable source. So this means one calcium needs twice the amount of magnesium for it to be digested. For the assimilation of it to come into your bones, for it to be healthy, for the bones to be strong. So if you had ordered a kilo of tomahawk that you said, you need to order 2 kilos of sukuma wiki to get that magnesium, for that to be assimilated. And because we do not do that, you take with kachumbari, so there's no train for the calcium
for them
to
go into my.
And then a mistake we do, we take those drinks that have that sound. So they've been treated with phosphorus. It will be sodas of alcohol. So this phosphorus, a lot of phosphoric acid in your body, leaches away the calcium in your system. So this meat you're taking with all that magnesium is not doing anything. So what happens, that's why you have a lot of people who take nyama choma and beer, they have those big stomachs and hockey sticks because the bones have become so brittle.
Yes, I know.
They have very thin legs, and you wonder kwa nini? Because you're not balancing that calcium, phosphorus, magnesium.
Call our men. Call them finally a part of the conversation that is around them. Your big belly and your hockey stick legs are down to your consumption of meat without the 2 kg.
Without balancing with the magnesium, with vegetables, and not reducing the quantity to the 50 grams that you need to take every day. And that 50 grams really helps you because the other 2 days you'll take your vegetable source of protein and then you balance your meat intake. So you won't have any problems with cholesterol levels, with digestion problems, because it's balanced by the way you're taking it. And then you're able to build your bones. So you are strong as you get older. And then even that kapot belly or whatever happens, uric acid, it won't be a problem because you're balancing what you're taking.
We can't keep talking, but you said a very important word. There's only 2 U's you and I need to talk about. Ultra high temperature milk, long life milk, and uric acid. We need to talk about that. Gout.
It's all about.
Watching y'all limping around town ain't funny, but because I don't want you to unsubscribe, however, then I need to shout out to the nutritionist. So I want to shout out again to Chef Ali, Cooking with Jasmine, Let's Cook Kenya. And the rest of you, I want videos. Tag me, tag Kate if you have to, and show me how we cook good food, healthy food, nutritious food. Include milk, include cheese, include butter. I'm one of those people. I can't remember who told me about butter, but I know that imagine mimi had 2 friends.
Butter is the healthiest option.
It is the healthiest option. And also, of course, you use our hashtag when you're tagging me. But I want to see simple meals. I want meals that anybody can make. You look at it like inaweza. Yeah, so that we can literally, put the phone here and then we follow you step by step like this. You're like, and give me the shopping list as well. Because I don't want this conversation to disappear in knowledge, because we all say knowledge is power, but it's actually the application of knowledge.
Exactly.
Yes, so I want us to apply our knowledge. As always, you are such a vibe. You are such a vibe. I'm sitting here thinking, oh my goodness. And of course, the camera has captured me and being totally embarrassed about some of the choices we make. But I guess that's why we have this conversation.
Exactly. We need to make people aware.
And if, like I said, if you're looking for Kate, DM me. I am the way. Okay, and I cannot, finish this conversation without saying thank you to Tetra Pak for making it possible. Because literally, I could have it in this, in this vacuum where it doesn't go anywhere. But because you came on board and you say we hear you, here we are, 3 conversations later on nutrition, and each one of them more eye-opening than the last. So look after yourself, have your milk. I'm going to have a grape. And then we'll talk soon. Comments below, including Ketu Myonga Vibaya. All right? Take care.